Live from KSAT 12, the News at Noon starts right now.
Extreme physical abuse and torture. That is what prosecutors allege a child went through before dying.
Mercedes Lozoya died in February of 2022. Right now, her mother's boyfriend, Jose Ruiz, is in court facing 8 counts of injury to a child. And later today, the child's own mother is expected to take the stand.
So far, it has been a quiet morning at the Justice Center. Our Erica Hernandez has been following this trial since the day it began. So, Erica, what was the jury allowed to see this morning?
Yeah, David, we actually saw more video from another apartment that Mercedes was staying in with her mom and her sister, the same as Ruiz's apartment. Yesterday, police collected several items of evidence. Some of those items included hair, heating pads, used puppy pads, and bruise creams. The jury has been out most of the morning as they discussed entering evidence from Ruiz's cell phone. He allegedly filmed some of the abuse and took photos of injuries. The judge has ruled to allow this evidence into trial, and so the jury will be seeing it at some point. I do want to mention late yesterday afternoon, 3 neighbors of Ruiz took the stand to talk about 911 calls they had made almost 3 months before Mercedes died. They say they could hear a child crying and screaming through the walls. Here is some of that testimony.
The intensity, like the wailing and how severely the child was crying, and the duration was very prolonged.
And while she was crying, did you ever hear her say any words with it?
Not words, just ow, ow, ow.
Now, all 3 neighbors said they called SAPD multiple times and they only came out once and talked to Luisa Mendoza but never went inside the apartment. As far as Mendoza, she has taken a plea deal in exchange for her testimony. Now, she is expected to be the next witness called up. That could be during the lunch hour right now or later this afternoon at lunch. Now, we are live streaming this trial. You can watch on KSAT.com, KSAT Plus, and KSAT's YouTube channel. Live at the Kidder Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Erica, thank you. And we are expecting to see some severe weather across several parts of Texas the next few days, including Southwest Texas. That's why the Texas Division of Emergency Management activated state emergency response resources.
Yeah, I heard Sarah talking about the possibility of hail somewhere in our viewing area. So we'll get to her right now and find out if that's a possibility here in San Antonio.
Yes, David, it is a possibility here in San Antonio. Tomorrow, though, is the best chance for hail between about 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. Today, though, it is just going to be a quiet and muggy and mainly cloudy day. It's 76 in San Antonio. You can see the clouds are just kind of building on each other, but out to the west, skies are starting to clear in Uvalde. It's out near Uvalde that it's going to be close to 90 degrees this afternoon, with high temperatures closer to the low 80s around San Antonio. But here is when I expect the window for some stronger severe storms. Tomorrow, Friday, between about 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. That's when severe weather is possible, and yes, the possibility for some large hail as well. I'll be detailing that window for severe weather coming up in just a bit. David, Sarah.
Sarah, thank you. San Antonio police are investigating a deadly overnight shooting outside of a sports bar on the south side. It happened just before 2:30 this morning at the 210 Sports Bar near Southwest Military Drive and I-35. Investigators tell us there was an argument in the parking lot. That's when someone pulled out a gun and started shooting. A bullet did hit a 35-year-old man in the chest, and he died at the scene. So far, police haven't arrested anyone.
A motorcyclist is dead after an overnight crash in Converse. It happened a little after 12:30. Crestway and Gibbs Sprawl Road, or the place where it happened. Converse police tell us a motorcyclist slammed into the car head on. EMS crews tried to help him, but he died at the scene. Investigators are working to figure out how it happened. No one else was hurt.
In a call for accountability from the Uvalde Police Department, Brett Cross is continuing his protest today outside the police station. Cross was the guardian of Usaya Garcia, one of the children that was killed at Robb Elementary. His protesting comes after the city council took no action this week following an investigation into the Uvalde Police Department that found no wrongdoing by any local officers who responded during that massacre. On Tuesday, Mayor Cody Smith told families and leaders needed more time to address the findings.
All I know is that I'm going to be here until something changes. They asked for more time. They've had almost 2 years. How much more time does one need? You know what your officers did. The whole world has seen the body cam of them just sitting there and waiting. What more do you need?
Cross says he's ready to stay outside the headquarters even after the next council meeting on March 26th to ensure officers are held accountable. And this is not his first time. He previously sat outside the Uvalde School District's administration office for more than 10 days to call for action against the school police department.
Still coming up, the Texas Longhorns men's basketball team with a short run through the conference tournament. Highlights are on the way.
A chance to celebrate Tejano music right here in San Antonio. How you can join in on the fun this weekend.
If you are driving along North New Braunfels Avenue near I-35, you might notice a mural honoring the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King has been removed.
That's right. The sun-bleached painting has seen better days, and the District 2 Councilman Jalen McKee Rodriguez said he was fulfilling the wishes of his constituents, calling for a mural makeover.
They put it up, it was bright and beautiful. Had all hands, all colors of hands. It's not like that anymore.
I'm so used to that. I've been here so long that I guess I wouldn't really want it to change much.
The painting was actually put up there in 1997 and done by artists working with an organization called San Antonio Cultural Arts. And while it is out with the old, may not be in with the new for a while, we're told whatever artwork replaces the old mural is going to be decided through a contest.
Right now, people are gathered at the Tejano Music Awards fanfare at Hemisphere in downtown San Antonio. The festival is known for being one of the biggest weekends in Tejano music. It's happening now through Sunday, and there will be live music from more than 150 Tejano and Conjunto artists across 4 stages. This is the first time it will be held at Hemisphere. The family-friendly event is free and open to the public. Lawn chairs, they are allowed. The festival opens at noon and ends at 11:30 p.m. today through Sunday. You can find more information by visiting ksat.com.
Outside with live cam, we've upped the humidity a lot. It's 76 degrees, and we've also upped the rain chances over the weekend, which is kind of surprising, but it's nice except for that severe weather part.
Yeah, you know, it is spring, so we need the rain, but oftentimes in spring, the rain comes with the risk for severe weather, and that's the case tomorrow. The aquifer really could use some rain, though. It's down a 4/10 of a foot over the past 24 hours. In the pollen count, we have oaks at high, molds are moderate, mulberry and hackberry are moderate as well. Go ahead and take a look at these weather headlines. Warm and muggy today, but storm chances start tomorrow and last through the weekend. And the last big thing we're going to talk about is how tomorrow there is a risk for large hail. Details coming up.
Well, today is Pi Day. No, not the actual pies that we eat at Thanksgiving. It's honoring the mathematical constant pi. However, actual pies are getting involved as well. So several places around town are getting in on the $3.14 deals for Pi Day. David.
3.14159 on into infinity.
That was a hard flex, knowing what trails after 1.4.
We've got a few places with deals listed on ksat.com. All you got to do is scan the QR code right there at the bottom left hand of your screen to learn. I know there's a lot of people giving stuff for like $3.14, so take advantage of Pi Day.
Pi Day.
Pi Day.
All right, David, so you know 3.14159. What number comes after that?
Is it 2653 or something like that?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
That's kind of crazy.
Did you look that up but today?
I knew that.
Oh,
I've always known 3.14159, but I got to go look up the rest of it.
Way to go.
I used to be able to go like 20 deep, but now I
Wow, look at you. Was that?
I don't know why.
Impressive.
Yeah.
We have got a lot to talk about in the weather. Let's start with that first headline, how we are going to be warm and muggy today, or at least continue to be warm and muggy today. Here's a look at the clouds today, kind of locked in around San Antonio. We may see a few peaks of sunshine this afternoon, but as you can see out west, the sun is shining. So areas west of San Antonio, closer to the border, going to be a lot warmer today. 91 in Del Rio, 90 in Eagle Pass, 98 in Laredo, but around San Antonio, expect an afternoon high in the low 80s. All right, on to the next weather headline. Storm chances start tomorrow and continue through the weekend and even into early next week as well. It's all because of this weather setup that we've got going on right now across the nation. Take a look over in Colorado. Can you see all of the snowfall there? There's a stubborn area of low pressure that is just going to park itself west of Texas and continue to send us rounds of energy our way. So the best chance for storms is tomorrow and Saturday. However, even into Sunday, we have a chance for scattered showers. Monday and Tuesday, a chance for rain as well. But Friday and Saturday, our most immediate window for some thunderstorms and even some strong to severe thunderstorms tomorrow as well. That brings us to our next weather headline. Tomorrow, Friday, there is a risk for large hail. Let me take you through the Futurecast. This is a look at this evening. Now, this evening, there will be some severe storms from Dallas-Fort Worth up into Oklahoma along a cold front. This cold front is going to push south and stall over San Antonio. As we look at early tomorrow morning, yes, there will be some areas of rain early tomorrow morning, but the severe weather tomorrow morning will be located across parts of the North Texas Hill Country north of Austin. However, as this front moves south and ends up stalling over San Antonio in the Hill Country, that is going to be enough to allow some showers and storms to just pop up over our region between about 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. Take a look at the Futurecast and you can see how that happens. Now, one thing I want to mention, the Futurecast is showing a guesstimate of the locations of where these storms will be. These storms will be sporadic in nature. This storm could be somewhere over here. This storm could be somewhere over there. All we know is that there are going to be areas of storms tomorrow from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. And these storms are going to have the ingredients to produce large hail, potentially greater than the size of golf balls. 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. tomorrow. You may not get a severe thunderstorm warning, but if you do get a severe thunderstorm warning, we could see, again, up to golf ball sized hail or slightly larger, some damaging winds, and some heavy downpours wherever the storm's set up, potentially leading to some isolated flash flooding issues. Tornado chance is not zero, but it's very low. We will keep you updated, again, if you get a storm. These are the potential risks. 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. tomorrow. That's when severe storms are possible. It'll be 83 in the afternoon tomorrow before those storms move through. And then even on Saturday, I expect some showers and storms. A few rumbles of thunder possible. Highs will be only in the near 70 degrees because of areas of rain. So the last weekend of spring break kind of getting interrupted by some rainfall here and there. Less coverage on Sunday, but storms are still possible. Then a front moves through Sunday night into Monday. We still have rain in the forecast Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, but our highs are much cooler. Take a look at that. Our highs only in the 60s. So a detailed timeline of those storms coming up in the next half hour as well. Sarah, David.
Thank you, Sarah. Just a little taste of March Madness. It's the conference tournament matchups we're talking about. We'll have some highlights for you and more introductions to some of the best high school ball players in our area coming up. They opened up the AAC men's basketball tournament last night. 14 seed UTSA trying to get back at 11 seed Temple. Good time to do it. Roadrunners behind early. Kristen Tucker doing what he can, attack the rim for the two. Then the Roadrunners went down by 14 at the break. Somebody must have said something because UTSA came out completely different team after UTSA tied it. Things stayed close down the stretch, but in the end, Temple was able to hang on for the 3-point win, 64-61. Texas men, 7th seed in the postseason conference tournament. That means a second-round matchup against 10-seed Kansas State. The Longhorns led by 10 at the half, but Wildcats clawed back in the second half. Taylor Perry pulls up for the deep three. It gives K-State the lead. UT down 10 with about 4 to go. Max Abmas misses, but tracks it down and rebound. Neil Thornton cashes in. 4-point game, 20 seconds left. And this thing is going to be over. K-State is going to beat Texas, come back to win 78-74. And a quick update, TCU beat Oklahoma and will face Iowa State in the quarterfinals today at 6 o'clock. And Texas Tech right now is leading BYU in their matchup. The NFL free agency is a pretty wild time unless you're a Cowboys fan this year. The Cowboys finally did something. Linebacker Eric Kendricks is set to reunite with new Dallas defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer. Kendricks spent 7 seasons with Zimmer as his head coach in Minnesota. Kendricks has topped 100 tackles in each of the last 8 seasons. Just over a week before all of the top high school basketball talent in the area get to show off that talent on the Northside Sports Gym. It'll be the much anticipated San Antonio Sports All-Star Game. We want to introduce you to another group of All-Stars. These youngsters from John Jay, Stevens, Veterans Memorial, Southwest, and Southwest Legacy High Schools. They all came in on Media Day in January, filled with emotion, specifically excitement for the big showcase coming up on March 24th.
I just want to prove to myself that I could run with people that are as good as the talent out there, and just showing off my skills. Assist mainly is what I'm looking forward to.
Hopefully here I can be able to compete with other people who are also top, and hopefully we can win.
It's very exciting to see people that I grew up with coming up with us or coming up with me.
I was happy whenever I found out.
I was excited and grateful for the opportunity because I know not many people would get this opportunity. And so when my coach told me, I was kind of happy, and I shared it with my dad and let him know.
The group, motivated by their loved ones, wanting to make them proud, like Josiah McDonald, who has a big basketball family.
I really do it for my family, to make them happy.
Does it feel extra special being able to say you were an all-star in your hometown city?
Yes, it is. It's bragging rights in the family, so yeah, it's a big family. So yeah, I could go front to my brother about it and tell him.
Nice to see those smiles on their faces, and it's nice that we're bringing in all the talented boys and girls to participate in this big event. So stay tuned. It's going to be a fun day.
Good luck to all those All-Stars. Okay, while we're on alert for potentially severe weather in Texas, people in other states are seeing some extreme conditions, including hail that can barely fit in your hand. A look at that weather in other areas as they're getting hit in the next half hour.
Once you get outside with live cam, humidity tells us that something is about to change big time.
Yep, humidity, one of the ingredients for rain, David, and we also have ingredients for severe weather. Now, the storms are expected to be severe tomorrow between about 3 p.m. and 9 p.m., but outside right now, we're just seeing a surge in that lower level humidity. 76 degrees outside, winds from the south-southeast at 15 miles per hour, locked into cloud cover in San Antonio. There's even a little bit of rain east of San Antonio, out toward Hallettsville, some light showers near El Campo as well and near Port Lavaca. So for the rest of the day today, a few peaks of sunshine possible, but it's going to be mainly cloudy, 81 for the high, and there's a small 20% chance for an isolated storm. As we head into this evening, it's going to be cloudy, mild, near 70 degrees by midnight. Then our attention turns to tomorrow, where between the hours of 3 p.m. and 9 p.m., that's when we have severe storms possible. I'll detail that for you and the risks that could happen because of those severe storms coming up in just a bit. David.
Thank you, Sarah. A Florida judge is considering arguments in the classified document case against former President Donald Trump. The judge is hearing from both sides today. Trump argues he had unfettered authority to decide what documents from his time in the White House he could keep as his personal records. The argument is part of Trump's effort to get the classified documents case dismissed. Special counsel's office has argued the Presidential Records Act does not provide a president the ability to change classifications merely by moving the documents. Trump faces dozens of charges related to his alleged mishandling of classified documents. He also is charged with obstructing the Justice Department's investigation. He has pleaded not guilty.
The Federal Communications Commission is considering a new alert system for missing and endangered Native Americans. Today, members of the FCC will vote on a new emergency public alert code, much like severe weather or Amber Alerts. The proposal is the latest federal effort in recent years to address the nationwide crisis of missing and murdered Indigenous people. If the proposal passes, the FCC will seek public comment before moving forward with a final vote. A race to rescue Americans stranded in Haiti amid the growing crisis. Gangs are increasing their grip on the capital of Port-au-Prince following the resignation of the prime minister. Meantime, as ABC's Rena Roy reports, the U.S. has sent a team of Marines into that area.
Amid a wave of violence in Haiti, a team of U.S. Marines now in Port-au-Prince to reinforce security at the U.S. Embassy. This as the U.S. and United Nations have started withdrawing staff from the island in a sign of how dire the situation has become. In the wake of the Haitian Prime Minister announcing he would step down, Secretary of State Antony Blinken quickly met with regional Caribbean leaders, saying he expects a transitional council to come together soon.
That creates the pathway, the transition to elections and to a constitutionally mandated government.
But Haiti's most powerful gang leader, Jimmy Cherizier, known as Barbecue, who threatened to overthrow the prime minister, reportedly dismissed the transitional council, according to the Miami Herald. Thousands of Americans, like missionary Miriam Chinotti, are still trapped, desperate to escape, many calling on the U.S. government to begin evacuations.
They can come and get some, they need to come and get all.
Every day I wake up thinking, Lord, please send us a chopper. Please send us an airplane that's going to come and rescue us today.
Author Mitch Albom, who runs an orphanage in Haiti, one of the few to make it out with his wife and 8 others from Michigan.
Things took a very bad turn in terms of the violence and the gangs. There were prison breaks, there were police station burnings, and the airport was closed down by the gangs. The ports were taken over, the roads were blocked, and there was literally no way out.
Sources say the Biden administration is weighing using Guantanamo Bay as a Haitian migrant processing center if there's a mass exodus. It would be separate from the military prison there, where notorious terrorist suspects are detained. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
This crisis could cause a spike in migration from Haiti. ABC News is reporting that Guantanamo Bay is considered to be a temporary migrant processing facility for Haitians if a mass migration event occurs.
If you think playing with dogs or looking at their adorable videos on social media helps you decompress, you might be onto something. What a new study says about the quality time you spend with your furry friends and the impact it could have on your health.
Even some industries rebound. Americans are still seeing inflation affect their bank accounts. And even though the latest data show inflation numbers are higher, there's still some good news for consumers.
That's not good news. It might have something to do with inflation numbers. They were released Tuesday. While prices are going up slightly in February, there's some good news about the economy.
CNN's Jen Sullivan breaks down what the latest numbers mean for your wallet.
The latest inflation numbers show consumers are still grappling with higher prices. According to the latest Consumer Price Index report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, prices ticked up 0.4% in February from the month before. And over the last 12 months, prices rose by 3.2%. But the full report has both good and bad news for consumers.
You cannot look at a single data point alone. You have to look at a trend.
Dr. Brian Marks, who teaches at the University of New Haven, says the pandemic drove up inflation. But recent global events are still impacting prices, like Russia's war in Ukraine affecting oil and turmoil in the Middle East diverting shipping routes.
Shippers are paying higher premiums for insurance, and they're passing that along to the extent they can.
While these latest inflation numbers are slightly higher, when we look at the last few years, inflation is much lower than it was in February of 2022. Here's where it's hitting consumers most: housing and gas. Rent in February was about 30% above pre-pandemic levels, according to Zillow. And gas prices are up 3.8%. According to AAA, the national average cost for a gallon of regular gas as of Wednesday was $3.40. Here's some good news. Overall, the price of food did not rise, and hourly wages are rising.
Wages are actually increasing above the rate of inflation, but not by so much that it's putting that upward pressure on pricing.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Yeah, if you've seen your car insurance rates skyrocket recently, you're not alone. They're up an average of 21%. That's the highest rate jump since 1976. It's so severe that car insurance premiums alone contribute half of the percentage point to overall 3.2 inflation rate that you just saw. One reason behind the jump, the cost of repairing a car is up 6.7% for the year. The number of traffic deaths in the U.S. also rising alongside riskier driving behaviors like speeding and texting behind the wheel. Insurers logging losses on 27% of collision claims in 2022, which is 3 points higher than 2021. And according to a new study, upwards of 6 million homeowners in the U.S. don't have home insurance. That raises an extreme risk of uninsured losses from a natural disaster or significant home damage. The study came from the Consumer Federation Act of America. It found that uninsured property makes up 7.4% of all properties in the nation. That comes to a staggering total of $1.6 trillion worth of unprotected property value. The study found that a lack of home insurance also contributes to the racial inequality. That's because Black, Hispanic, and Native American homeowners are disproportionate relying on insurance.
Okay, cold water therapy, well, it may not be as effective as some think. A review of scientific studies of the Wim Hof cold water therapy method found the quality of the research was inadequate to support most of the claims of its effectiveness. So the analysis examined 8 randomized clinical trials. It found the study sample size was too small, making it hard to generalize results to other populations. So some research did hint at promising anti-inflammatory effects from the combo of cold water immersion and breathing, but researchers say higher quality studies need to happen to verify that. Okay, take a look at this. Massive amounts of snow in Colorado. A major snowstorm hit the area, closing numerous schools and government offices and shutting down sections of highways. The storm began last night and isn't expected to wind down until tomorrow. The heaviest snow accumulations were expected in the Front Range Mountains and foothills, with a large area expected to get 18 to 36 inches. Some amounts are expected to exceed 4 feet.
A wild night for some residents in the Kansas City area. The snowstorm comes as other parts of the country face severe weather, including tornadoes and hail. Here's some baseball-sized hail that caused some massive property damage in Kansas. One person said it sounded like pumpkins were being dropped on her house, and that the hail fell from the sky for a whopping 9 minutes. Fortunately, no injuries were reported. Just trying to imagine what a pumpkin sounds like.
Kind of terrifying.
Guys, those same systems, so the one that brought the hail to Kansas, that same system is going to provide us with a possibility tomorrow for hail. And then the storm system that created the snow in Colorado, that's going to keep rain chances in our forecast through next week. So storm chances continue tomorrow through the weekend, and we do have a risk tomorrow for large hail. We'll talk about that in a bit. First, I want to check the aquifer. We need some rain. We're going to get some rain over the next few days. Hopefully the aquifer will rise. It's down 0.4 of a foot over the past 24 hours. Take a look at the pollen count. Oak is high, molds are moderate, hackberry and mulberry moderate. We need to wash out some of that pollen too. Opportunities for rain at the cost for a risk of strong to severe weather. Those details after the break.
Let's check out TransGuide. We'll take it to 151 at Loop 410. You can see we're down to just one lane, and you can see inside the right next to the median looks like a motorcycle. We just had a gentleman was looking it over a few minutes ago, but Sarah, you said an ambulance drove off just a couple of minutes ago as well. So looks like there is at least one injury.
Hopefully everyone is okay there.
But if you headed over to 151 at 410.
Look at that, a rocket launched in Boca Chica today. This is the third test flight of SpaceX Starship. It's now the most powerful rocket to reach orbital speeds.
The deep space rocket system was lost prior to splashdown. 2 pieces of communication went down during the integrated flight tests. That indicates the spacecraft may have busted apart.
However, SpaceX is still calling this a success. The rocket reached orbit speeds and flew much further than prior Starship flights.
I wonder what these snowstorms look like from space. There wasn't anybody on it, but you got to wonder what those snowstorms look like from space.
Similar to satellite pictures,
Yeah,
I'm
really
assuming,
cool.
Sarah.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, we'll see a satellite picture here in just a bit. And not too much to see, though, because it's just cloudy over San Antonio. Take a look outside right now. Cloudy, even some haze, 76 degrees, breezy with winds from the southeast at 15 miles per hour. Here's our satellite picture from space. You can see that clouds are still around San Antonio, but we're seeing some clearing out to the west. Del Rio, Laredo, you're going to be a lot warmer today than San Antonio. San Antonio, we're going to have clouds through most of the day, low 80s for the high. Del Rio 91, Laredo 98 degrees. All right, let's talk about how our weather pattern is about to shift to be rainier. Take a look across the nation. We were talking about all that snow around Colorado. Take a look at how much snow is falling. This is all around a stubborn area of low pressure that's just going to position itself west of Texas and bring us continuing rounds of energy for rain. Meanwhile, at the surface, there is a cold front that is working its way through the panhandle of Texas right now. It's along this cold front that we will have the chance for severe weather tomorrow. Let's take you through the futurecast. Today, severe weather, and tonight, severe weather will be located from the Dallas-Fort Worth area up to Texarkana. As this front moves south overnight tonight, a few showers are possible, even for the morning commute. A few showers tomorrow in San Antonio, but most of the severe weather will be around that cold front, which will be across central Texas. As we head throughout the day tomorrow, after the morning showers, it'll be fairly quiet until the afternoon, when a front is going to stall out right over San Antonio. Now, where severe weather happens depends on where this front stalls. If this front stalls further north of San Antonio, severe weather will be located toward Austin. If it stalls further south of San Antonio, could be closer to the Pleasanton area. Still, though, right now there is a decent chance between 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. tomorrow that we will see a few storms pop up. Now, not every location is going to be getting storms, but if you do get a storms, coverage will be about 60%. If you do get a storm, rather, it could become severe, capable of hail. Hail is the main concern. The window, again, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. And this particular model shows storms just blossoming over San Antonio, that I-35 corridor, and into the Texas hill country. So the Storm Prediction Center has outlined areas from San Antonio to Boerne to Johnson City to New Braunfels, Seguin, Floresville, Gonzales, Austin as the main area for the risk for severe weather tomorrow, a 2 on a scale of 1 to 5. So I expect scattered severe storms in this region, with the main risk being large hail and damaging wind gusts. Make sure you have the KSAT Weather Authority app, because we will go live from that app. We will go live from KSAT.com in order to keep you informed about the weather. As for tomorrow's KSAT 12-hour forecast, we'll have a few showers in the morning, a lull in the activity. As we head into the afternoon, we'll get into the low 80s briefly, but then again, from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m., that is our window for severe storms. Can't stress this enough. Make sure to have that KSAT Weather Authority app. We will send notifications right to your phone. It's always best to be prepared, just in case there are severe storms. As we look at the futurecast even further, I mentioned that stubborn low pressure system. Again, it's just going to set up west of Texas, sending energy for rain our way. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, there is a chance for showers and storms. This low is not going to go anywhere until next week. And so as you can see, even though our better window for storms is Friday and Saturday, rain chances continue into next week, and temperatures fall too. Our highs next week are only going to be in the 60s. David and Sarah.
Just grab your stuff and go. Try not to let it show, 'cause we'll be okay.
The second installment of SA Vibes is out now. It features talented singer and songwriter Caroline Hale performing 3 songs off her debut album entitled BFF.
SA Vibes is KSAT's local music showcase featuring a musical artist and band every month. It's available to watch now on all of KSAT's digital platforms. Just scan the QR code to take you to Caroline's performance from our KSAT garden.
Ryan Gosling still riding high after his Oscars performance of I'm Just Ken stole the show Sunday night in Austin to premiere his upcoming action comedy The Fall Guy at the South by Southwest Festival. Gosling said Sunday represented the last time the Barbie cast would all come together during award season.
It was like the Barbie party was coming to an end and there was only time for one last song, so tried to end it on a high note that I could barely hit.
The Fall Guy will be in theaters May 3rd. Peter Dinklage is a college professor trying to fulfill his dreams in the new film American Dreamer. It's based on the true story of a man who thinks he'll be happy once he gets the perfect home and the perfect wife. And Dinklage tells me the film explores how the American dream is really kind of a myth.
This idea, this nostalgic idea, like the American dream of like the from the frontiers people to, it's very John Steinbeck to the working class Willy Loman, and it's all just a terrible struggle, isn't it?
Shirley MacLaine also stars in American Dreamer. It's in theaters and also available for on-demand rental. Several cities won't see Jennifer Lopez on tour this summer. A bunch of stops in late August have been canceled. Nashville, Raleigh, Atlanta, Tampa, and New Orleans will all miss the This Is Me Now tour. No official reason given. And happy birthday to actor, comedian, and 9-time Oscars host Billy Crystal. He's 76 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Okay, a small study found that interacting with dogs might strengthen the brain waves associated with rest and relaxation. Participants engaged in multiple activities with the dog, like playing, feeding, grooming, hugging, and walking it. Study authors measured their brain waves during each activity, then asked participants questions about their emotional state. The changes in brain waves indicated heightened attention, concentration, and relaxation. That's in addition to reduced stress, fatigue, and feelings of depression. The study did have some weaknesses, like a low number of study participants, and that the fact the group was healthy, which meant the experts couldn't observe any improvement in medical conditions.
Spring break, a great time for brunch and a margarita.
Yeah, why not? SA Live is all about the food today. Isn't that right, Mike and Fiona?
We've got to have a food theme because we always have a food theme here. Yes.
Yes, Ashley Griggs, owner of Piece of Cake, is here with a great recipe for Black History Month.
I see some beautiful catfish here that we're going to be frying up. What are we making?
So we are making a cornbread soul food bowl.
Ooh, what all goes in a cornbread soul food bowl? I'm looking at it right there.
So we have some fried catfish, some greens, and some mac and cheese.
Ooh, we're going to be eating good today. And they need something to wash it down with. And it is the day that Sebastian Dubonnet has been waiting for. It is
National Margarita Day.
All right, what kind of margarita?
Here we go.
What kind of
and we have here
using?
the freshest margarita with Milagro tequila, 100% blue agave, and we just replaced the orange liquor for agave syrup with some fresh lime.
Oh,
it's delicious.
All right, we are going to tell you all about that at the Pink Shark and what they are going to be dishing out.
Yes, indeed. They're starting to serve breakfast. I went there and had a little taste. It's good. And more on SA Live.